Miss Wendy, of course, has her right to reply and did message me after the live. Oh, don't cat. I wish I was on with you on that one. Wendy did message me after the live and there was a bit of back and forth in messages, and then we ended up taking it to WhatsApp where it could just be voice noted easier. So this is kind of Wendy's reply to so far, and then there's a couple of other bits I need to look at my phone because my pen ran out. So I'll switch over to there. So obviously, like with Jarreth being abusive to Wendy. So Wendy has actually admitted to going through a bit of a rough time with Jarreth, and hasn't denied any of the claims because she said that she called it on camera. Jarreth was arrested and out of the house for around about a week, but this is when Christina turned on Wendy, as Wendy claims. So Christina apparently has been searching, or I'm not gonna say apparently, she has been searching Wendy and been calling social services while in her place of work, which was against the work code. So Christina ended up, so this is where Wendy said she had claimed that Christina contacting social services about her and her child, and that was done twice. Let me turn this cunt off. So this Christina had done this twice already, which then caused her to get the sack. At first she got a warning, and then she did get the sack for phoning social services trying to get information and reporting stuff that didn't concern her in her workplace. It wasn't a patient she was looking after. Another point Wendy has made, and this will make sense why a lot of things people didn't want to happen the other day. Like, listen, I'm not denying anything Wendy's done, but listen, not everything's bullshit. And then obviously it comes to the state of the house. Now, before Wendy was evicted, she claimed that she would clean and gut the house, which I have seen. But however, that didn't happen as the landlord ended up wanting them out as soon as possible. So Wendy did claim apparently they only give an hour. However, I'm not sure. I'm 100% agreeing with that, if I'm honest, because I don't believe that's 100% true. Obviously, you left a lot of belongings behind, and you only took 2 carloads, which is what you said to me in the message. And the house was infested in fleas. Like, that was an infestation. There's no way that cannot be denied, and you've not denied that yourself, to be fair. But in regards to leaving a load of belongings behind, as well as obviously the house a bit of a mess. Now, I just want to revert back to the storage. Well, what happened to all the stuff that was in the storage? Why was that not retrievable? But I know you'll be able to answer me that soon. And obviously, this is Wendy making more claims against Christina. So this is Wendy has a message from Christina that states her husband is in the army and downloaded some stuff to track her ex-partner. By ex-partner, I mean Christina's ex-partner. Which, if true, that needs reporting to the right authorities, because you should have been booted straight out of that army service within seconds of abusing your position like that. Now, I can validate a lot of these claims. I can validate a lot of these. So I can validate, there's some things I can't show, but I can validate that Christina's partner, from Christina's mouth, in Christina's own message, where she states exactly these words that I've written down here, that her husband is in the army and downloaded some stuff to track her ex-partner when she was down south. So that is possible, by the way, believe it or not. It is possible. It just means he's abused his position. It's exactly what it is. So that is what I've written. So I have actually got the message of that. And I'll get on to the other thing you wanted me to get on to, Wendy, by the way. This is going to seem like a bit of a Christina bashing session, but listen, this is Wendy's right to reply. She has her right to say just like all the others did. Yeah, if you could, yeah, thank you, Chloe. Thank you, little legend. So I won't show you the message, but I will read it to you 1 second. 1 second. That was the warning. So that was Christina saying about a warning. Right, so this was regarding this bottom one here about the tracking of the ex-partner's phone and her partner being in the army, Christina's, from Wendy. Just a heads up, ladies, I don't normally get people's addresses. It's just my partner was in the army, so as part of our protection, when we first got together, he downloaded some stuff to make sure he could keep tabs on my ex when I was down south on my own, and my partner was up north, so on weekends when he was home he would track my ex's phone, etc. Sorry, needed to put it out there in case you thought I could just grab anyone's address. Well, I'm not being funny, you've literally just told him in that message you can grab anyone's address. You've already told him that. So, you know, it's a bit of a catch-22. And also to Christina searching and phoning social services, I also have that as well. Yet again, can't show it, but I can read it. So this is from Christina herself. Got a warning because I contacted social services when at work about a child. That isn't a patient, and took advantage of services there. My manager got the same. If I do it again, I will be suspended until further investigation. Sorry, I can't be more help. And then at a later date, sorry, I'd love to, but since I lost my job because of what I tried to do for someone with social, I physically can't. I'm sorry, but I share it if I can on Facebook though, so there's obviously a Facebook group, which kind of that tells me there, by the way. So that's two of the claims. I can say Wendy is telling the truth exactly there. She is telling the truth on those two claims. This will be why this particular group did not originally want me to do this exposure the other day, because they're worried obviously what's going to backfire, because as we all know I deal with two sides to the story. I will listen to both sides and I make my final conclusion, but not everything is bullshit that's coming out of Wendy's mouth. Okay, she told a few porkies, has she exaggerated a hell of a lot? Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt, she's not denied any of the the abusive side of things, the fisticuffs or whatever they had back in January, I think that was. She's not denied that, so she's been quite honest about that. I do think the main other things are the GoFundMe, where that maybe you need to come in and explain this, where you've had claims obviously you scanned for food and furniture. Yet again, this I said the other night, I said I'm sure Christina has either helped these guys in one way or another, whether it be money or food and that, and I was categorically told in the comments that was not true, and I knew it was true because I already had the message, that was true, that Christina did provide them shopping. Yes, Shannon, Christina did provide them shopping. So after saying no, didn't provide them anything, she did. She offered them shopping. And then I think you need to explain obviously the 7k lent and the 1,400 that's still owing, because obviously I've got a bit of a tagline underneath it, so I know what it's in regards to and where it goes back to, and obviously the claims that have been made against your child, and obviously the locks on the door. But yeah, and the storage money for the items left behind. I think they're the main things that he's chat. But that'll be why Christina and that didn't want me to do that the other day, because they know what I found out. Because let's be honest, it's not hard to find this shit out. If I just had a full name, it'd have been easy enough to find, right? Like it's that easy. So I can state that a few claims have been made against Wendy. So there has been a reply. So the fire part before we go in. No, we'll go to the replies first before we do the fire part. 1 second. We do that next. Let me just go on the right account, because I don't know if it's on this one. I don't know what account it's on, so you have to bear with me. Oh man, it's me. Is it this one? Right, bear with me 1 second. Okay. Just get that up there. Put that there. 1 second. Right, we're back. Where have you was that, Chloe? Sorry, where have you was that? Right, yeah. Yes, no, hold on. I know exactly where it should be in 1 second. So obviously this all started the other day. This wouldn't have gone this far as it did if it weren't for this the other day. Now, I've got a couple of clips which I know they're there. They are, however, in minute clips, I believe. That's them. There you are. Right, Chloe, can you resend them over if you've got them? Because I have the 8-minute one. I have an 8-minute one. I don't know if that's it. Hold on.
Not to do it, so you probably need to be told about gingerbread soap.
I love people doing it awarenesses on Wendy and Jarf.
Is someone going to tell me the issue?
He knows next to nothing.
These are the three, aren't they?
To him briefly, I went into a live that someone called Gingerbread was doing, that he was in the box, and they were doing a brief awareness on it. Rent-a-Gob has added me and been on another look at
This
the
is
page,
how it
so
all started, all
I
this.
do believe that
To
he
the
did a
extent.
very brief chat about it, and they were using information from my page, so...
So they're just doing the awareness on literally just...
And they explain why they
this
didn't
new
want to do
bag,
it.
that's what it's saying, isn't it? Is that, they've got a new bag.
Is that all they're doing then? They're just doing the begging ones and not the actual... all the other stuff they've done in the past, and it's just based on the awareness.
Which is mainly begging, other
Kat, you
than
know,
other stuff.
tonight, I don't know if you've been around Kat, when, as Billy's spoken about, he's doing the awareness thing on Wendy and Jarf Williams, right? Now, obviously,
This is 8
because
minutes
of,
long,
you know
this
what,
video,
Kat,
so I
I'm not going
apologise.
to be able to get involved or anything.
Yeah, because he
Does he know much? Because the main people that know what's going on right now...
So it's
are in
like,
the boxes
I think
here.
it's a 60-minute recording we're
Just a
listening
bit-
to.
Everyone's thinking, well, does Billy know all the bits?
Well, no, it just happened the same with Troy's live. Troy's live went
Mm.
horribly
True
wrong because
colours
there were
too, when
loads
she
of
came
false
from me,
stuff
yes.
said in the boxes.
Yeah.
If you're left out.
The trouble is, Kat,
Wendy and Jarf.
Yeah. The trouble is because obviously I don't talk to Billy anymore, so I can't get involved. But I would have liked to have thought he could have reached out to yourself and the cleaner.
He's reached out to the cleaner. I'm not saying it's
I'm
an
glad
issue
I
to
didn't
awareness.
reach
I'm
out
just
to
a bit
Christina,
confused that he only knows the begging side. That's
Yeah, because it goes a lot deeper
Whoops.
than
last
that.
time
Do
Troy
I?
did it, Tay went in the box and Tay told a lot of lies, and most of that wasn't the truth, and that's where
And then
it
it
got
messed
truth, and
it
that's why
up for everything else.
yeah, and it messed the whole awareness up because Tay had gone in and told a load of shit.
Yeah, you've got to have everyone singing off the same hymn sheet, haven't you? That's the issue here.
Well, it's all good keeping up with awarenesses, right? It's all good keeping up with that. But when you've got next to no knowledge apart from videos, it's a bit hard to do an awareness, surely.
Yeah, because we hear the
Who
bits.
says he's got no
There's no
knowledge?
background, there's no background
Yeah.
information, there's no actual how long she's been doing it, there's no
Dragon one.
voice notes, there's nothing compared to what we've got. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I get it. I'm not 100% whether he is, like you said, just focusing on the latest thing with the dog. I don't know, or whether he's, because I should assume a lot of
We
people
don't just focus on one thing, do
from
we?
there where we've been live talking. So I don't know, but again, yeah, I'm sure he will. But I think I don't know. It's just so fucking awkward.
It's the amount of lives that are going around with barely to no knowledge. This is why I teamed up with the cleaner and become really good friends with the cleaners, because she was doing the recent awareness and I knew that I had the old awareness, put it together, and we are smashing it. We all are in the boxes, absolutely smashing the awareness together. So when you get someone from the outside coming,
No, it's no, this is coming down. Now after you're fucked off. Convenient.
I just seen Corey Wilde join because
we were smashing it together as a group. Do you know what I mean? All of us together here as a group, as a little family, we're smashing it. So when you get
Shame it was group built on
it's
lies.
difficult to allow them to take over.
Or not totally, but some
We only
lies.
put out facts.
There's not much research you can do really that we haven't already.
No, it's mostly there's a lot of stuff that all of us don't. We have on our phones, etc. That we come together for. We work it out, and we're very much about shutting down the bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Because unfortunately,
I can just see it going wrong like Troy's did.
Shit psychic inabilities then.
Corey. No, he's vile. Have you not seen him lately?
Thank you, Faye. You didn't need to.
The thing is, right.
Why me and Ruthie don't speak anymore? We haven't for a long time.
So if they do put out false
about a year.
information, that is not on us.
We were very good friends at one point in time for about 3 years.
Because it did with Troy, it backfired with Troy's life.
No, it doesn't mean you're giving out.
There's only so much you can do for one
We
person.
managed to counteract that with just popping a post up, wasn't it? Saying, look, that's not the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. So.
I mean, and hopefully there'll be people in there that come in here so that if something is said that's not factual, they would be able to correct him. I don't know.
Which I did do that at one point, but I didn't get corrected though.
What you've got to remember, right, is stuff that we've said in lives together. If that's going to be used, it's going to backfire on us. And I am
don't say it
talking about
live
the
then.
SA, and I am talking about the fake DD.
The SA and the fake DD. There you go, you just mentioned it. Again.
Kirsty Victoria, I saw the lives, he mentioned all of it. He didn't care what he said.
No, you're right, I don't. Not when it comes to a liar and a scammer and a fraud, especially on the dirty things that Kirsty had done. Let's put it that way.
People have then gone and told him some of that stuff, and he's going to use
Hey,
that
then
against
Winston, you
his
good?
backfire.
Yes, they don't know full information.
I'm on about the sensitive content.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's probably more concentrating on the scamming side, I would
I
imagine.
don't know, you should see the Kirsty Victoria awareness.
I didn't see it, I don't.
He mentioned
He
all
has said
sorts.
He mentioned all sorts,
in
yeah?
his video,
Because it was all lies.
got a new bed,
That's why I
so
mentioned it.
Hopefully that's all you're focused on. But I mean, at the end
What do you
of
want
the
me to
day,
do what the mainstream
like you
media
say,
do
we
to you and
know
lie?
all the information we
Do you want me
put
to
out,
lie
we've
to you
all
like they
known
do?
firsthand
No.
that we've heard directly from them, or we've witnessed, or we've got, the evidence of from someone who does, which is why we focus on this. Why we've got.
Like I
this
say, I
I'm
don't
just gonna
dispute
mention,
quite like a
you know,
lot of their claims. I don't dispute
people
them.
do keep
But there
popping
are
little
things to be
in my
disputed.
inbox of, oh, this is
Well,
another
la.
thing. I
All right.
focus on somebody I do not know. The only reason I do this is because
Kirsty
I know
Victoria needs to be
firsthand
outed. What about him out? Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean?
The information I'm putting out there is 100% true because.
Evening,
I've had
cool
it firsthand.
lady.
I will not try and out somebody I know nothing about because, as you say, it backfires. So, as much as I appreciate it, guys, please don't inbox me with, oh, this is another bag. Have you seen these? Because I will not pick up on it.
Yeah, because she's only interested with what she personally knows. Fair point. Fair. We'll go on to the next one because that's just jarring now.
Schizophrenia on her live.
This is where I entered the box. I think the 53-second clip is the one where you're in it safe, I think. If not, Chloe, have you got it to hand?
You're going to tell me the issue, or you're just going to see a window with a bunch of old hags? Go on, Billy. No one said
Mind
there
the
was an
voice.
issue with you.
No one said there was an issue.
Right, so what's the problem? Why am I getting
Clearly
loads
there
of
was an
messages
issue, you
left,
just
right,
heard
centre?
it.
Go on, Bill.
Saying what, Billy?
There's a problem with tonight, is there?
Right, can I tell you the one thing?
Bear in
The
mind,
only
this was a
thing
couple of minutes
that Christine
prior
and
to what they were
myself
just
worried
saying.
About, right?
After,
I don't
sorry.
need to be messaging you. Is that there's yes, they're scammers, etc., but we didn't know how far you're going into, if you are, about the other sensitive issues that come along with these two. That is all it is. That's all we want to
Well,
know.
to be fair, I'm not quite like you. Like, I won't go bang on with the sensitive issues because I'm not like that. I just put out the main bang, which the cleaner has on her profile. The video's there. I don't need to consult.
But just bear in mind, in the last video that you just had, the girl said, oh, we're just going to base it off videos, as if the videos weren't facts.
Anyone. I don't need to talk to anyone to get any information. If I want to just pull a video off the internet and have an opinion or talk about it, that's what I'm going to fucking do. And no one is going to tell me
I
anything.
don't know who told you there's an issue, because nobody did.
Well, luckily it was recorded.
Well, that's what
Messaging you saying there's an issue, Billy. All I said, the one comment I said was,
There was an
I'm
issue,
sure there'll
don't
be
lie.
people in your life that if something is said that isn't correct, they'll tell you in the comments. What's wrong with that?
That's not what they said.
Yeah, no, nobody said
What's
there
wrong
was
with
an
that?
issue.
Sorry about the voice you
Billy,
can hear.
basically, Christina had just said, does he know the information and all that? And I said, yeah, because I popped into one of your lives the other day and you followed me and I know you've seen my content. That's all we were talking about.
That's not
Nobody's
what she
actually had a
said.
problem with you, love. I don't know why people are sniping back at you.
But
We've
this
got
is
more
why I
people
was
to do
wondering
awarenesses.
if you've got most of the videos up, which actually is most of the videos that I've taken.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean. It doesn't like someone's message, if someone's stirring. We
Right,
love
Cal.
all people who we can get doing awarenesses and using the videos, fantastic. But yeah, no, God, we've not moaned about you, sweetheart. Someone's stirring the pot. So you crack on, you do a brilliant awareness.
I will just point out, as to a comment, I don't know who made it, saying about letting randomers in the box, and I totally agree with you. A lot of people do let randoms in the box that probably don't know what's going on or even half of the situation. But one thing about me, I've never been one of those people, never will be one of those people.
Rarely
It'll be
accept
very
people
rare
in the
if I
boxes,
actually let
we know.
anyone up in my box.
That was what it was about, because
Yeah, that was the only concern, literally, that was mentioned.
No, it fucking wasn't.
because when Troy done one, and I know you're not the same as Troy in the slightest, right?
Honestly, so, because people don't want you in the box. You've come in here with an attitude.
It's fine.
You've clearly been stirring the pot when it's not been needed, so just move along.
This is when it started also.
I'm going to get down, but I think if
And
anyone's
then I
being
think this is where
spoken
Soph
about,
might get
they should have a
up,
right to
or she
reply.
does
That's
get up.
just my thoughts on things, either way, whether you're for or against.
Absolutely, but then don't come in here with an attitude like she has.
Says that
She come
cunt
in
with the attitude.
Well, then you're having an attitude with her right now, so it works both ways, doesn't it? Like, you could project yourself or reply back in a better way.
You alright? How are you?
Not when she's speaking like she is about people in these
Never mind.
boxes. No.
Well, let her
Can
have
I
a
just
say
say-
then,
I'm gonna let her get up.
Text is perceived in a better
In
way.
and out. Oh, yeah.
Hang on,
Just
'cause
say-
this is
I heard you
better.
like that.
Oh, and the fucking ribs
I'm just going to interrupt everybody, and I'm just going to say, right, the issue that's supposed to
Hasn't been
be
blocked, so we're about to
we've
let her
cleared
out.
it. We've cleared it. There's no issue. We're looking forward to your live tonight, so I don't know where that's gone, so let's just make that perfectly clear. There's absolutely no issue. The only concern was, like Christina said, people jumping in a box.
We haven't blocked her. My God, I'm trying to get her in the box.
God, I'm glad I got
Could you
it
request the
recorded.
box, please, though?
So yeah,
was
well, I don't know
Pick
where
up
all
from
this
the
is
treasure
come
box,
on,
man.
this issue, but no, we haven't got an issue.
Has somebody blocked her?
This is, yeah, and Soph did get blocked. She did get blocked. Yes, she did. I was there. Screenshot was straight in the Discord. We're not fucking stupid. She got blocked.
disappeared, so I don't know if she's been
We know
blocked.
who
She's
it was.
definitely
It was
been
If
somebody.
I've unmuted you, can you request the box? I can't see you.
But yeah, this has got so out of hand. There was absolutely no issue. I don't know where this is coming from. We were
Sounds
just
like
chatting.
Who blocked her?
Alright, well,
Well, she's about to come in. Could you possibly let her know that I didn't know she was blocked? Didn't want her
We did.
blocked.
No, I
In
don't know who's
seconds.
done that. I've not done it. I don't
That
know.
you hear Ruthie.
And then she's more than welcome
Thank
to
you,
get
sir.
in the box.
We appreciate you jumping in the box, love, and just clearing it out. But yeah, there's absolutely no issue. You do a bang on. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to watch.
I've been telling everyone all week
Who
that you're
blocked
doing
her?
it. I'm
She was
glad
not
because
blocked.
Yeah, I
it needs
have,
to get
I
out
have.
there.
Hello, Minty. You alright?
You do crazy, but not when I've got all these fucking messages pinging up left, right, and centre.
That's when she started
I
going
don't know who
crazy.
blocked her.
right, anyway, I need to get out of the box, so I've got to go and get on the fucking train. I'm gonna listen in, but if anyone's been spoken about, as I say, I think it's their right to.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for her to come back.
Yeah, totally agree. Good luck for your awareness tonight. We're looking forward to watching. We'll be there.
Why are you saying wow?
This was the
crazy?
awareness that happened.
Say.
This was the awareness that happened the other day. It is up on YouTube. Should you want to go and see it? I don't think I put it in the playlist yet. I think it's just randomly scattered.
Why are you saying wow crazy? I didn't see who
Probably because of the.
blocked her. Genuinely, I didn't see who blocked her.
It's probably from the drama.
I think that's coming.
That's occurred out of nothing.
Wasn't nothing,
I can't
was
see
it?
her.
There's still another
You've got
3
butter,
minutes.
there's people
Just
doing awareness on it.
Is she?
Sophie Boo, it says that gingerbread Sophie. You weren't meant to be blocked, sweetheart. We don't know who's done that.
Okay.
Could you request
Sorted it
the
straight
box?
But I think this is where
Could
she
you
gets
request the
it.
box, please?
Here we
Alright, I'll
go.
have a look at the list who's done
I
it.
think-
But, Deb, I need you out for a minute. I need to get Sophie in.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Hold on.
sorry, that was
So's
me.
just
I
coming.
Debbie.
So's coming.
There we go.
Come on, Christina, what you got to fucking say, yeah?
Oh, what the yay.
Look. She had a lot to fucking say. No, she had a lot to fucking say, saying I've been going through fucking schizophrenia, and all that. She doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on, so she needs to get a fucking fact straight before she fucking says it. So come on, big fucking Billy Big Bollocks.
Come on, be nice. There's no need for that. Let's talk it out like adults that we are.
But yeah, I got fucking slayed and want to load in the fucking box and that.
She's
so
right,
people
big
stop
up
me and
to
then I get
so.
fucking blocked. No fucking chance. She's running a fucking mouth with bullshit, yeah? Shouldn't know a fucking thing.
I don't know what.
She didn't slate Stephen Buck, no. You also sit there when he was at his vulnerable moment, slate with a line, no?
You don't know what he fucking done to me, so shut your fucking gob.
I don't care, it's irrelevant. You're meant to be doing awareness and you sit there
It
preaching
wasn't
awareness. You sit there
irrelevant.
slagging him off, calling him all sorts.
No, but yeah, you're not in the fucking...
Yeah, I removed you, that's why I said it, because I removed you, which I'm allowed to do. We're not going to sit and argue like petty little kids. I removed you, end of the story, you don't do awareness, but you goodbye.
You slay at people, you silly corner.
Who is Stephen? Someone.
Exactly, that was her
Who is
words.
that?
So you can't tell me that you weren't fucking sat in this box and fucking slayed and grounded people to the fucking ground. Fuck off, you lying corner.
Oh, come on. Please.
He's trying to fucking slit my fucking throat and everything.
And that's what this bloke done, and she don't care, remember? That's exactly what the bloke does, but she don't care.
His auntie, what? His auntie tried to set him up.
Yeah, his auntie did try setting him up, and let's get into that. Stephen Buck, this is where all this initially started with this the other day. So Stephen Buck, yeah, did threaten to do exactly that. To say what you heard, threatened to do the photos, but this woman's previous says she don't care. Because she didn't know the facts, she didn't see it, apparently we just gone for someone with schizophrenia. Absolutely fucking not.
I don't know who the fuck he is. I need to get somebody at me in one of the things about him, please, because I don't know who it is.
Right, and I think that's just pretty much it.
Fucking slayed and grounded people to the fucking ground. Fuck off, you lying corner.
Oh, come on. Please.
He's trying to fucking slit my fucking throat and everything.
He did.
Who is? I don't know who he is.
Big up on the
I don't know who the fuck it is.
Thank you.
His auntie, what? His auntie tried to set him up.
I think so, got booed out at this
Could we
point.
just all just...
I think that was the end.
I don't know who the fuck he is. I need to get somebody at me
Yeah.
in one of the things.
But that's exactly what Stephen Buck did. So this is how all this came about the other day. This is how we ended up here. In this situation. 1 second. And then I'll just quickly I'll give you exactly what the cleaner said. 1 second. Where did I send it? There. So obviously the cleaner then replies, because this is how all this has started off, was from that voice clip you heard. That's how all this started off. This is how we've got so fucking deep into it. This is how we've got so deep, and this is how Wendy's ended up messaging us and God knows what. So it's a bit of a long one, but I'll try and spit it out as fast as I can for you. So obviously, as I said earlier, Christina, this is from Christina, or her side of the things. So Christina states that she never talks about the DV. This is in regards to you, Wendy. The only time when it's mentioned is by Wendy and Jarf when they flick their live-ons for gifts and sympathy and donations, which they do often. And then the discussion is of how disgusting it is that they would share such information. She has never gone into such detail about their DVs. Secondly, she claimed she did not make up rumours about Wendy's son, SA, and their siblings. This information allegedly come from the kid's father, which may I add, I haven't actually seen any evidence of that, so I can't exactly say. Christina has also claimed that Wendy and Jarf have given out her address on numerous occasions. She's also stated that apparently Wendy and Jarf have stated that they know where the landlord lives and was going to make his life hell. And the cleaner's statement says, I have proof that Jarf has threatened to find my address and cut me a new one. She also states that she only focuses on the scam and she's personally involved. She states that she took every picture and video herself. She has known the landlord since school and that they have grown up together. She's sad that she has to watch the landlord suffer at the hands of these two when they owe him over £5,000 in rent and another £3,000 in damages and cost to fix the flat. She's also stated that apparently Wendy refused to hand back the flat to him unless he paid £400, otherwise they had to go through court, which would have then cost him thousands extra. And this was apparently why he wanted him out with no cleaner, not anything of that kind. Apparently, you have also made lots of different accusations regarding the landlord on your lives, including that they left all the stuff there because you was only given 1 hour to get out. And apparently his relationship with his partner of 10 years has broken down and ended due to the stress that these two have put them through, and I could not sit back and watch them sprout all the lies and to frame his character more on here. Nor could I watch them beg for money using the lies they were telling. This is why I set up my page, and it was not to bully, harass or tell any lies, but to call them out on their lies with the evidence I have to back it up, and to warn any others so they do not suffer the way my friends have. Although, if this is the thanks, if the thanks I get is accusations, and then she just says, well, she may as well just leave it there and leave everyone else to their justice, sort of thing. So, Wendy, do you want to come in the box? I don't know if they're on, actually. I'll put them on. There you go. Oh, you're in the box. Here we go.
I'll go in the kitchen.
I can mute mine.
That's alright, I'll go in the kitchen.
Hello.
Oh. Hello.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of a delay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A massive delay.
Just so I know, that's all. So obviously I've just gone over everything that obviously we've spoken about and the messages I've received off the other side. So just to start off, do you want to reiterate the things that I've gone through first, or do you want to quickly run over the things that I haven't gone through?
No, the only thing you haven't gone through was obviously me proving to you that there was a fire.
Right, so the fire, this is the one thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I have seen what you sent me, and yes, the fire brigade did write that, and they described the fire as like, used damage, was it? But actually this one was obviously consisted to just the light fittings. So I would have, personally, in my personal opinion, I would have said you'd have over-exaggerated that, in my opinion. That's the only thing I've kind of got to say in regards to that. Is there anything you want to say to it?
I mean, that's fine. That's your opinion. You're entitled to your own opinion. You know, I didn't tell anybody that it was a blazing fire. You know, I just said that there was an electrical fault fire in the light fitting.
Right, so that's what you stated, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of people in here, I don't know whether that makes any difference, but that I was in a group chat with, and that I told them that.
Right, okay. And right, so obviously the ones that we ain't really spoken about that much is so the GoFundMe. So obviously the other side are claiming the accusations were that you scammed food, furniture, utilities, car and rent. And then obviously at the moment you're trying to raise funds for your dog's cremation, is it, or the ashes, one or the other? So do you want to just go through like
the
that's correct,
the
claims of that?
So obviously we left Tall Point with 2 cars. It was our car and a friend's car. So Dean got really funny. So the police got called, and the policeman gave Dean the option of Dean handing over the flat key and us being with the police officer while Dean went home because he had to do something or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. So the police officer told us that we had an hour and a half to collect all our belongings while they were there, and that's all we had. So Dean doesn't know what the police officer said because he wasn't there.
Right, okay, so... Right, okay, I'm with you on that. So, right, so with the faults, the electrical fault, did you say that you lost any items in it?
No, I didn't say I lost any items.
So you didn't claim to lose any items in this like electrical fault of a fire sword?
No.
Wendy's partner's in the box. I mean, if he wants to get in, you guys can let him up. I don't mind. So why did the police tell you that? Like, where you had to leave immediately, if it wasn't too bad?
So we had an hour and a half to collect what we like. We had an hour and a half to collect what we could.
So you had an hour and a half to collect what you could.
Hello.
You've not at once on live at any point. Hello. You've not at once any point on live said you couldn't take any of that with you or anything.
I honestly can't remember. We didn't have the facilities, the transport to take any big items with us.
Right.
None at all. It was literally the only big items that we could take was the chest freezer, the tumble dryer. Obviously, I didn't take the washing machine because that was there when I moved in there. And I didn't take the three-seater sofa because, again, that was there when I moved in there. So I presumed that I couldn't take that because that was the landlord's.
Right, what about like your other bits like desks and stuff like that?
We didn't have room in the cars.
So
obviously we were in temporary housing at that point.
Yeah, carry on.
In Falmouth. So there was no way that within that hour and a half we could come back and get any more stuff.
Right, so when you said obviously like the police reached you, I take it they were there with bailiffs, were they?
No. So regarding the bailiffs, we were told by the council that we had to stay in that property until a bailiff came, and then when they give us that letter, when the bailiff gave us a letter, then they would help us.
Right. Okay. And how long did it take? I take it you
and
got
by
that?
the way, chat, I'm not reading any comments, so you guys can be as hateful as you can. I'm not reading no comments.
Okay, just ignore the comments. So I take it obviously you got the bailiff letter in the end.
No, we didn't get the bailiff letter in the end because I had a call from Cornwall Council asking whether I wanted to return to the flat, and I said no. And they said that's fine. We would, because we were going to get evicted anyway, and I had to wait for that bailiff. They would continue their duty to house me no matter what.
Right, well, because you got the kids and stuff like that, I imagine.
Yeah. Obviously, because social services were involved, and we were in Falmouth at temporary accommodation, it was just too much going back. It was just too much. So they agreed that they would help us on our way, on our journey from them.
Right, so you had to collect your stuff and then...
You can call it both lies, you can call it nonsense.
So I just want to say one thing. The hour and a half represents... So basically, when we went to the flat the last time to collect what was left... Obviously, there was an altercation with myself and Dean. The police were called and they attended the property. The hour and a half was for us to remove the remaining goods from the property that we couldn't take out. So things like boxes of the kids' toys, clothes, things like that. We had 2 cars available, and it was agreed originally between the landlord and the police that we would be given an hour and a half to collect the remaining parts of our belongings. Dean disappeared, and it was the police officers, 2 of them, that stood there, one inside the house and one outside the house, for us to empty the flat. We were given...
So you had already got stuff out of there prior then, yeah?
Yeah, so we had already moved the washing machine, the tumble dryer, and a few other stuff before that. Things like, for instance...
It wasn't a washing machine, it was a tumble dryer and chest freezer.
I'm not gonna get an American fridge freezer in a car.
Yeah.
So that had to stay there. A king-size bed, I'm not going to get in a car. So again, it had to stay there. We took the essential bits that we needed.
Was it not a bed you could dismantle?
I wasn't getting it in my car.
No?
There was no way I could put that in my car.
So could you have not took one trip out and then quickly gone back and got a few extra bits or not?
No, by the time I managed to get everything out, we did it in one trip because the police didn't stay there, and I wasn't going to leave my belongings sat down the bottom of the flats. So that's the reason why we took what we could, and everything that we couldn't take, we left there. Like I said, Wendy just said, you know, the washing machine didn't belong to us. The sofa didn't belong to us. We're not going to take stuff that didn't belong to us. We took our essential bits that we needed to live.
Right, so on that case then, if you took essential bits, like, to obviously just live and suffice to get by, what happened to the stuff in the storage or storage money?
So that was at my mum's. So we had to pay storage at my mum's to keep my stuff there.
So you kept some stuff at your mum's?
So I kept all my stuff at my mum's, which was there for 3.5 months.
Right. Did you not say you had like stuff like in a proper storage unit at some point, or am I misconcluding that?
No, I said we were looking at a storage unit because we did look for. But the problem is with storage units, they're expensive. So I managed to talk to my parents and said, "Look, can I leave it here? What do you want in financial wise for us to keep it there?"
What? So you pay? So you're claiming that you paid your mum?
No, we couldn't. I actually couldn't pay her, but I managed to keep it there.
But why would you need to pay her? She's your mum.
Because that was the agreement that we came to.
Right. Okay. So you only had basic stuff in storage. You didn't have any like storage units or storage containers. Just stuff at your mum's and stuff like that.
That's where the chest freezer, the tumble dryer, a couple boxes of clothes and kids' toys, things like that. The other stuff, obviously, that we took with us that day, bearing in mind there was 2 kids in the back of a car, the single car was literally clothes. We couldn't take anything else. There was no feasible way to do that.
The only clause I can get in this right is that obviously you did just say you paid your mum, but then say you couldn't afford to pay her.
No, I said there was an agreement.
Did you pay her anything?
No, we couldn't afford it.
Not at all. So you say you've not paid anything out towards storages or anything like that?
No, we couldn't afford it.
Mum's or in a, like, because I'm sure I had a video of Wendy asking is it your sister to confirm that? Like,
to confirm that it was at my mum's. Everyone was saying we were lying, and my sister came in and confirmed that it was all stored at my mum's house.
Right, okay. Right, so you're claiming you didn't have storage money, you didn't pay anything out on storage or anything like that. You left items behind, most of it was already due to the, because it was already there when you moved in, apart from things like...
No, his sister confirmed that his mum didn't get any money.
So we asked my sister, is the stuff at storage in my mum? She said yes. We said, have I paid mum for it? She said no. She confirmed exactly what I said.
Well, apparently, see, as it goes, like the video of like you, Wendy and the sister, where she actually states that the sister states that obviously you were paying and confirmed that. So did the sister confirm that you had paid?
No, my sister said we hadn't paid because we couldn't afford it. She said exactly what I said.
There's not going to be no videos that surface, and I'm just asking outright, I'm just being as blunt as it is. There's going to be no videos that are going to surface or be sent forward to me that is going to confirm that whether your sister has said this or not.
Not that I'm aware of. As far as I was aware, she confirmed that we couldn't afford to pay for it.
As far as you're aware, she confirmed.
I've just literally invited her in here.
Pardon?
I've just literally invited her in here, so hopefully she comes in.
Right, okay, well let me know what her account is and shit like that. Right, so there is a video by the looks of it. There is a video and it's probably going to come through. So just because that is probably going to come through. What's this about the 7k lent? And obviously you still owe 1,400, but a payment plan was made.
It wasn't
7k. It was not 7k.
Is that Well, would you mind me asking how much it was?
She spent $4,000. So basically, we were getting messages off her, and I have got them, saying, oh, Monday you've got Iceland coming. Oh, I've done you £100 Poundland shop for Christmas. Oh, I've got catalogue stuff coming for your kids for Christmas.
Right, so...
I didn't ask for half of the stuff she bought.
Yeah, so this hasn't been direct money. This has all been sent as, like, items, correct?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Billy. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I have asked her for money.
Yeah, but I'm saying let's say the whole 4K is not all money. It's not all in money, no?
No.
Right, so
I mean, there would be times where I'd wake up in the morning. Yeah, there'd be times where I woke up in the morning and we'd have a message on WhatsApp, and it would be, you've got Iceland shopping coming today. But I haven't even asked for it. You know, I was live and she's chucked 200 quid in my PayPal for no reason whatsoever. Go get yourself an air fryer and a microwave. Oh, right, okay, well, thank you. I offered her some of that money back. No, spend it on the kids.
So, right, so the 1,400 you're claiming she told you to keep, to buy stuff a bit. Like, for you and the home.
No. That £200 she chucked in my PayPal, I offered her some of that £200 back, and she said no, spend it on the kids.
So, in theory, why did you just not send it anyway? Just to avoid
I didn't know my PayPal at that time. All her bank details at that time.
Right, so that's obviously why 1,400 was asked back, right?
No, peekaboo, it was 1,750, and I've paid some of that off.
Right, so you'd still have, let's say, about 1,000 odds to pay off, yeah, if it was to work that way. Because I know, obviously, I did catch in a video you said about going to get your 3 hour with the solicitor because you think it was laundering, which I don't think was a fair route to go, to be fair, for someone that has helped you out. But I get it, you was obviously in anger and maybe said things out of anger, I don't know. But, right, so this is one of them. So this is a video, Wendy, asking the sister to confirm that mum things were being said. But anyway, let's just listen to it. And then there was stuff being stored at the house, and she said they were paying and confirmed it. Let's have a listen.
Or something stupid off the wish list. Thank you for the roses, people. We would be ever so grateful. We are in temporary accommodation. We've got to pay a top up on the rent. We've got to pay a surcharge every day. We've got to pay for storage. And it's just money we do not have. We don't have.
Exactly, money I didn't have. Couldn't pay the storage.
Who is? Who is it? Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. When me and my kids and my partner, my animals...
But you do state in that video that obviously you do have to pay storage. Like, so obviously, like...
Exactly. So I had to pay, but we couldn't because I didn't have the money for it.
Right, and that was all at the mum's house.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I mean, to be fair, listen, right, so the 7K, obviously, that was spent on you, some was obviously sending gifts. She only wanted 1,400 back. And have you continued to make any payments towards that?
It was $4,000.
Right, so have you continued to pay that to this person?
Sorry, say that again.
Have you continued to pay any of this remaining money back to this person?
No, I paid her February, March, April, May, June, and that was it.
Right, okay. And how comes not recently?
Because we've been advised not to, because there's legal proceedings against Becky going on as we speak. We have been told by solicitors we are not allowed to pay her a penny until the investigation has been concluded, because she's looking at criminal charges.
But what has she done so bad to you?
No, it's purely because she's not been sending money through normal channels. So when she's been gifting money, but she's not been sending it through her details. She's been using somebody else's details to send money.
I think quite a few people don't know. Like, use someone else's bank card if you can't
But
use yours.
also, they've also discovered that we're not the first people she's done it to. This is why there's an investigation. They have multiple people that she has done this to. So she's currently being investigated for money laundering.
Right. So how could you afford the solicitor?
We get free legal aid, so you're entitled to speak to a solicitor.
So you get legal aid, basically, yeah.
And we get monthly updates from the solicitor on what's happening.
Right.
And this is how we know that there's other people that've been affected by what Becky's done.
Right. Is the second after the video obviously about the story?
What furniture I had? Do you know what? Some of my furniture is at Jar's mum's house, right? Jar's sister is
Guys,
in
I
this
will get back
life.
to that in just
Now,
a
Sarah,
second.
I don't know if you chat to your mum a lot, but can you just confirm, one, that we've agreed to pay your mum money to keep our stuff in our house? Can you just confirm that?
But what's Kate said?
2 seconds. Because we cannot afford it. Yeah. Can you just confirm that? Because I'm sure your mum would have told you this, that she hasn't heard from us about payment.
So there was an agreement made, and we couldn't afford it.
There you go.
I have got fuck all.
Right, so that was just the whole thing. But right, so I'm just going to revert quickly back to that. I just wanted to know that, Hadola. So back to that. So legal aid. You claim you got legal aid?
You can get legal aid, yes.
I mean, you can,
get
but
an hour
not to
free
this extent.
to a solicitor.
If I remember correctly, 1 second, let me just get that out of the way.
Half an hour, it's one of the two.
Yeah. No, not for these sort of situations, and you're not getting legal aid for. I mean, yeah.
I can show you proof that I got a liaison officer.
I mean, yeah, see, a liaison officer and like legal aid and solicitors and lawyers are all very different things. I mean, you get an hour free with a solicitor if you go through things like scissors advice, if that's what you're talking about.
That's what we did.
So you've had an hour. So you've had an hour with a solicitor through scissors.
They've taken on the case, and that's why they've come back and said that she's under investigation, and they found other people she's done this to.
Right. So you've had an hour free with the scissors advice, basically. Then you know that's civil, right? You know it's a civil matter.
Yeah.
Which means it probably won't go that far.
Good luck to her.
I mean, because when it's
exactly.
Civil, she's probably going to get away with it. So, you know, or you're going to be faced with a bill at the hefty end. But like you've already said, you've had your hour free.
I mean, if they say to us, we want you to pay it, then we will. We've told Becky that. If they come back and say to us, you need to pay that money back, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
But while the investigation is ongoing, we have been told not to pay a penny.
Right, okay, so we know you're not getting legal aid. So that's one thing we do know. You've had your hour free, you get legal aid as such. You know.
Sorry, the little one's come down 2 seconds. I've got my...
No worries. I'll let him sort out everything. Ginger Gemini, what's up, babes? Because I can see you spamming. Don't go mad. Keep it peaceful and civil. Oh, are you loading? You're just loading.
No, I won't go mad at all.
I can hear you. Go on.
I've been through eviction twice, and both in very different situations. And what I'm going to say about the legal aid is, yes, they they are free, and they're saying they took the case on, which would be a small claim, and which you have to pay £60 to take it to small claims court and pay all the legal fees. So you haven't got legal aid at all.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I would say. Is definitely haven't got legal aid at all. Who was that mutant?
And with eviction, a bailiff won't come. You get a summons to go to court. No one can evict you from your premises, but a judge. You go with the landlord, and you agree obviously to be evicted. You get 3 months, and then you have to vacate the premises. If you're in good terms with the landlord, they will let you back in to get your stuff. And yeah, that's what happened with me the first time I was evicted, because it was
Our eviction was in February, so
your eviction was in February.
and then I went through eviction with a housing association.
and then obviously we took our eviction notice to the council, and they said no, you need to stay there. You do not leave.
That's
you
true.
wait until
You
a
do
bailiff
have to
comes,
leave until you
and
go
then
to
you bring
court
us the
or a
letter.
judge. Yeah, that's true. You do have to stay there, and they will not help you until you actually get evicted. But I also went into a women's refuge, and then I was evicted from my home, obviously, because I wasn't living there anymore. They gave me 28 days to get my stuff from the premises. A day before, they actually dumped all my stuff from the last 28 days. So I've lost everything twice. There's a lot of holes in your story that I'm not having to go at you, but I'm just saying there is a lot of holes in your story, and I think if you were totally honest, people would help you.
I was just about to say, actually, at the beginning, Wendy, you did say you didn't get an eviction letter.
Yeah,
We
no,
got section 21.
we did get the eviction.
Which the council made
Our
invalid.
eviction date was February.
So we got a section 21, which both councils, Cornwall and Plymouth City Council, made his section 21 invalid. His section 21 was invalid because he didn't have a gas safety certificate and he didn't have the deposit protection certificate, which is a legal requirement to serve a section 21. So they made his section 21 invalid. He then went for a section 8, which is rent arrears, which we were in rent arrears. We were meant to be evicted in February. Obviously, he'd have to go through the courts to do that. He can't just say you need to leave. He didn't do that.
So, right, so
And then obviously we had the electrical
take us
fault.
to court to evict us, and he didn't do that.
What, so the landlord didn't evict you?
No, because he didn't take us to court.
That's an
so he couldn't
illegal
evict
eviction
us.
then.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but that makes an eviction legal. Illegal.
And that's why
The council wouldn't have accepted
that's
them at all.
why-
They told you just to stay in that property.
Yeah, and we did. But obviously, because we had the electrical fault, it was rendered. The flat was rendered unsafe by the fire brigade, so the council had to step in. They had no choice. There was a legal obligation because we had two children.
Obviously,
Yeah, I had children as well, so I did.
the first step. You know that, right? Section 21 being the first step.
Yeah, so we were given a section 21. The council made his section 21 invalid. So
You wouldn't have had to leave
He couldn't
then?
pursue the section 21 because the council's made it void.
So why did you leave?
So you wouldn't have had to
Because
leave
of the
then.
electrical fault, the fire brigade basically forced us to leave. They made the house uninhabitable. They felt when we contacted the council and the fire brigade spoke to the council, the fire brigade said, "We want this family out. It is not safe for them to be here. You have to get them out ASAP." That night, we were moved to Newquay.
Well, this.
So you weren't evicted then?
Right. So hold on. So regarding the fire, this is what Wendy sent me the other day, and I've got it here on the phone. So fire was discovered in a light fitting in the bathroom. Wiring exposed and electric supply isolated. Wiring must be inspected by a qualified professional. Any further concerns, dial 999. It's obviously got your name, your occupant, and it's got the 15th of the 5th, 2024, 1:56 in the morning. And it actually just says they've circled advice given. So obviously they've given you advice.
We had them out 3 times that night. That was the first one. We had them out 3 times in that one night. The last time they came out, they turned off all the electrics in the flat, and they were on the phone to the council saying you need to get this couple and their family out the house.
I had obviously rung out of hours, and I said to them that the fire brigade are here. Did you want to talk to them to verify everything? And they said, "Oh yes, if you don't mind." So that fire the fire person spoke to the council.
So you've never...
You weren't evicted then?
Electricians or anything like that?
Sorry?
So you never, like, denied any entry to any electricians or anything like that?
Yeah, we did. We didn't let his mate in.
Yeah, we did because I wasn't there.
But it had to be an independent electrician, nobody that he knew. And that's why we stopped his mate coming in the flat. We were advised not to let anyone in the property that he knew. And that was purely because of how dangerous Dean was. So let me tell you into a little secret. When I moved into that flat in 2022, there was no fire alarms or carbon monoxides in that flat. The fire alarms that we found were 7 years out of date.
So when the little electrical fire happened, did you move out straight away? How long was you still in that house for?
Yeah.
Literally, we were rehomed that night. So they sent us to Newquay that night. So obviously we called it in at 2 o'clock. Obviously that's when they turned up. You see that on the letter that you have. We were in Newquay that night.
Yeah.
So they moved us out within 12 hours. Bearing in mind, we weren't actually living at
early hours in the morning, right?
Sorry?
So this would have been early hours in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning. So we actually went to my mum's that day until the council basically told us to go to Newquay.
So you didn't take a letter to get evicted and stuff. You were taken out of the house instead of evicted. So this is where your holes in your story are.
The house was unsafe.
Yeah, so you weren't evicted then. The bailiff didn't come and evict you. They come and took you out of the house.
Yeah, it's because you guys are saying eviction, but actually you've been moved on because...
Yes, you can call the council in the middle of the night, Emma. It's called out of hours.
So that's where the conflicting thing comes, because obviously you're saying you've been evicted, but actually you haven't been evicted, you've been moved on because there's electrical...
So yeah, obviously while we were waiting for that that court date, we had that electrical fault.
Right. So obviously you received the court date. How long was the court date, like, from the day of it coming?
We didn't get a court date. He didn't even apply for court.
Oh, because it obviously didn't go that
This
far.
is what we were waiting for. Obviously, he would have had to spend money in a court to get the process through, but he never did.
Right, so this is
you
where...
have to apply
we
to
were
court
sat
to
in
get an
limbo
eviction, so
waiting
you
for
do.
him, basically.
So you weren't in... Well, you was in rent arrears. You did say that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did tell me it's in rent arrears, yeah. Yeah, you did.
I can send you the eviction notice right now.
Well, if you have an eviction notice, I won't show
They
it.
can send you a letter to say that they want you to leave, but obviously then it has to go to court, so it does.
Yeah, it's not a straightforward process. It normally takes months.
Yeah, it took them like 6 months
2
to get
seconds, I'm just trying to find it.
and you have to be over
This is why the
£2,000
council
in
said
arrears to get
we don't
evicted.
until the bailiffs turn up, obviously, because if we left of our own accord, that'd be making ourselves intentionally homeless. And that's why the council said you need to stay there until the bailiffs turn up at the front door with that piece of paper to say that you are being evicted.
You're right there, Adam. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just listening to all this waffle. I mean, it's up and it's down at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what? Landlords can be a nightmare and can be dodgy, right? And not everyone does it by the book, and they do say certain things, but like, since you're not afraid to like ask everyone for help and to do everything every step of the way, I'm sure if you'd had a dodgy landlord, you'd have got somewhere with that.
True.
Surely the council would have helped you a lot then, obviously, because you didn't intentionally make yourself homeless. You didn't actually get evicted then.
I don't know if she's meant to be speaking to us because she's on pause.
Babe, you're on pause. No one can hear you.
And it's like with the fire alarm.
Actually, a lot of fun because she'd carried on going.
But just like for anyone out there that's got children and you're in rented accommodation, right? you can push a button on the fire alarm to test it. For the safety of yourself and your kids, don't be waiting until the fire alarms are 5 years out of date and you've got an electrical fire. Test your fire alarm. If it's not working, get a fucking battery or tell the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
You can also, if you have children, ask your health visitor to call out the fire brigade to come out to your house and check all your fire alarms, make sure there's stair gates, make sure there's locks on your things. Like, they don't tell anyone about this, but they do actually help if you ask for it.
Yeah, they do, yes. Believe it or not, they do. I mean, I refused to have one. They had to give me one that doesn't even make a noise unless, like, there's a lot of smoke, because I couldn't stand the beeping and the noises off them every 2 seconds, so I smashed it off. And I was like, if you can give me one that's pretty silent, I'll take it. And that's what they come and
Mine
done.
was going off every 10 minutes one night. I was, like, swinging off it from the ceiling just to get it to shut up. The battery was actually dead in it.
And the fire brigade will do that shit for you normally for free, and they will always come out pretty sharpish to help as well.
Well, also, like I said to you, Dean didn't have fire alarms in the flat when I moved in there. We actually had to call the fire brigade, and they had to threaten him that they were going to come out and do it and fine him for him to actually come out and put some in.
Right.
Dark Shadows, people are asking me to ask you why you told everyone you lost everything in a fire.
I mean, if anyone can come forward to me with this video or tell me the exact place I'm getting this video to hand, then I will play it if there's proof that he said it. Because a lot of people have said this evening, like they've claimed that they've lost a lot in a fire.
They want to know where to send it to, Billy.
We can say, well, what is it? A long video? Is it a short video? If not, you can tag I've got uncensored the other account, not this one. The account with me, like just my face. Or you can chuck it to me on Insta or get hold of one of my mods. Or you can just tag me on Rent a Gob. And it was unleashed, but it's now uncensored. I can back up. Really confusing. Honestly, I've just fried my own brain.
Hope everyone's okay.
Oh, I'm good, sweet. It's just like to get out when it like. So, Jarreth, so what about, obviously you will leave the claims on the lock being on the outside of your child's door. May I ask why on the outside?
So the reason, obviously the 17-year-old can't really say for himself, but he has done many times. Carlton's very private. Because of what happened to him, he's very private. Keeps himself to himself, doesn't want anyone in his room. So Carlton decided...
First of all, the doors didn't close.
2 seconds.
No, the doors didn't
I haven't
close
got there yet. For fuck's sake, wait. Jesus Christ. Sorry. As I was saying, Carlton is a very private person. And he decided that because the doors didn't close properly, to prevent the animals coming into his room and to prevent his younger brother coming into his room, he decided to put temporary locks on the inside and outside of his door. So that he can lock the door when he's inside there, stops obviously his brother or the animals going into his room, and then when he's not in the room, he can lock the door or technically secure the door from the outside, which is his choice.
What is it, like a little iPhone lead? Because that's kind of what it looks like.
So what it's done is use paracord.
I mean, it's just something to
paracord to it. And that was his way of keeping his room secure. Now, social services were very much aware of it, because when they came to the house, they actually asked him, why is that on the door? And he told them, and they accepted that, didn't have an issue. When we moved him out of the big room, which was the one that had the mold issues, he then moved into his younger brother's bedroom, and his younger brother took our bedroom. So we put, again, the makeshift locks on that door as well. It was not to lock the 7-year-old in any rooms. So like I said, and we have said many, many times before, social services were fully aware with it and accepted exactly why they were there.
This is right. Okay. Sorry, I just had to reply.
Sleep.
Aye.
Does he lock the door when he goes to sleep? Because I can't see that being safe. You know, like if there was anything, God forbid, happened, then they would be all drowsy and wouldn't know how to get out.
The amount of times I've had to kick the door to open it is unbelievable.
With a good force, go in.
With good force, the door will just literally go in. Obviously, it's only rope. It's nothing bad. But that's how he wanted to keep it secure. Like I said, social services came out and visited the house many different times, and they were absolutely fine with what he did.
Regarding the fire, Jarreth, because obviously you're the one here at the moment. So this was what your mum put up, and it says, well, it was Wendy, sorry, saying we are a family of 4, 2 furry friends in temporary housing 64 miles away from any family. We are in here as we got given an eviction notice from the landlord, but while waiting for everything to go through, we had an electrical fault fire which charred all the bathroom light fitting, which started to mount the dining room hallway and the light fitting in there.
Yeah, they found 2 others. While they were investigating, they found out it was happening to the dining room light fitting and the passage light fitting.
Basically saying the fire did cause damage.
Yeah. So just to let you know, Wendy just said she sent you the proof.
I think it's just looking.
Any smoke at all from a fire can damage anything, so it can. It's like smoke damage is
Sent you
horrendous.
proof for the Section 8.
Can I just quickly ask if anyone's free, right?
No.
Go over into Big Wolf's live.
No.
And vote for Lucy. She's the final of the singing competition and come straight back. Just click LU.ca.
I suppose I'll let you.
Thank you. She needs all the help. There's 60 seconds on the poll.
Right,
this one dressed as Billy.
You guys in the comments there for live, but you didn't live there, so you don't know. You can't comment on something you don't know anything about.
Right, so this isn't quite the eviction notice, but it's basically a letter to tell you they are going to
start. This is the Section 8 that we received from the landlord.
They're going to start proceedings. This is what this letter is, to inform you, to let you know proceedings will soon start. That's all that is. So you would have, at time, if you'd have been there much longer, would have eventually been evicted if it weren't for the fault, the fire fault, like you say. But you know, it's just.
What's that bleeping?
Oh, it's the fucking dishwasher.
It's doing my head in.
I mean, there was a bit of that. I mean, yeah. I mean, what about the house? So, do you want to just clarify, like, the state of the house? That obviously we know certain stuff was there. It's like the state that it was left in. Do you want to just?
So, I mean, as you've seen from obviously the many videos from Bruce.
First of all, right, the only messy room was that mouldy room.
Yeah. So obviously, as you've seen from the videos, the only room that was of concern was the back room, the large back room which had all the mould in. Now,
she didn't show the bathroom.
No, she didn't show any other room apart from literally that room and the front room. Obviously, bearing in mind the front room had all the stuff in that we couldn't take. So obviously we couldn't take the American fridge freezer, we couldn't take the king size bed, a lot of other bits we couldn't take. We couldn't take the glass cabinet. Again, I wasn't fitting that in my car with all the other bits that we had. It's impossible. So the state of the flat, our biggest issue was the mould. Now, every flat in that block, and there's 9 flats, every single one of them had an issue with mould on that rear wall. 2 of the flats had to be completely ripped out because the mould took over. Now, the reason the room is that bad is purely because that room was left for 3.5 months with nobody in it. So when we got Colton out of that room, we left a lot of his stuff in there. Now, bearing in mind, if you leave things in the room for 3.5 months with mould, it's going to get worse. The windows were blown. The front door was blown. So that's the reason why there's a massive issue with the cladding on the building. But obviously, bearing in mind,
sorry, carry on, Jarreth.
That's all right.
It's that account.
Obviously, bearing in mind, we had blown windows. The cladding on the outside of the flat is completely fucked. And you've got mould spreading on that entire front end of the flats.
But why didn't you keep on top? Right, so this is an example.
We were bleaching those walls on a 2-weekly basis.
Unfortunately, so it does
we
happen.
told the landlord that we had an issue with the mould, and he refused to acknowledge it.
It's my chair. Sorry. But I had damp in an old place of mine, and it was pretty much a monthly job, but I always made sure I wiped down and kept on top of it just to stop it getting worse and worse.
So we also bought the pots with the beads in, obviously that you can leave in the bedrooms and stuff, and because the cladding is that bad, the mould supersedes anything that you can do to keep control of it.
So what about like the animal?
Two of our neighbours had to have their flats completely ripped out because of the mould.
Was there dog feces on the floor?
Like,
No, the dog was never in any bedrooms.
No, I think the only
They
way
just planted it
describe
themselves.
is, so I've seen obviously that bedroom floor, and I would say a dog has definitely got in there and pissed some point because you can see it's like stained the actual concrete. If that makes sense, like the underneath. It
was lino. Bearing in mind, the floor was pretty bad before I'd even moved in there. Bearing in mind, I'd only been in there for 2 years.
Mm.
So obviously I moved in after Wendy was already there. Obviously I moved in halfway through her tenancy.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah. So what about the flea infestation?
So there was actually a flea infestation when I moved in. So when I moved in with Wendy, there was already one there. She had already stated to me there was one that it had already been there. We had actually spoken to the landlord about this. Same with the issue, we had ants in the flat as well. Now, we had already raised the issue with the landlord. Sorry?
Would you not just hire a professional like a fumigator?
Bearing in mind, you can't, because you can't live in there while they do that.
Well, obviously not.
You have 2 children with nowhere to go, so you physically and pets, obviously you can't just up an entire family and go, hey, let's move. That wasn't an option. We asked Dean what could be done, and he did nothing about it.
See, now, like, the thing is, they can fumigate and you just stay out for one night. Like, not a full night, it doesn't even have to be, but it's normally one night. So have like a family of friends that you could have stayed at.
Not with the animals, no. Wendy's parents has 2 dogs. My parents have 4 cats. It's impossible. But obviously, we did flea the cat and the dog on a regular basis, as you would, as a responsible owner.
So, obviously, like, did you used to use flea treatment on your animals? Were they flea?
Yeah, so obviously the animals were flea'd, the floors were sprayed several times, and you couldn't get rid of them. The amount of times we sprayed the carpet in the small bedroom was unbelievable. And no matter what you did, they weren't going anywhere. Same with the ants. Every year during the summer, all you get in that flat is fleas. Ants. You can't get rid of them. I mean, the landlord even told us with the ant infestation, I'll pay you to go and get the stuff, which we did.
How long did you live in that place for?
I was in there for that's literally, a year and a bit? So I moved in there October 22.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. When we got together, you donkey. So I'd been there for literally a year and a bit.
Yeah.
So obviously I only know what happened when I was living there.
So you moved into the place and there was already fleas and that everywhere?
Yes, there was already a flea infestation and there was already an ant infestation which comes every summer. You just get ants coming up.
Yeah, see, I can see all the, right, so I'm looking at all the damp in this video and I'm looking at the flooring. And I can't lie, like, it does look like a dog or a cat has either pissed or shat there at some point, or do you know what I mean? The floor is just, you probably ain't going to be able to see it that well because of the ring light. But it's kind of like, here. And I'll see if I can get a better... But that all the floors look like that, like here, and let me turn the ring light off just so you can see the better motion of what I mean by it looks like dog or like cat piss or whatever. So can you kind of see here and all that? Look.
That's been lying for a while.
See that?
But like I said, as far as I'm aware, the animals didn't go in that room. Bearing in mind, we took the older one out of that room 3.5 months before we left.
I mean, I would definitely say a dog or a cat has personally pissed definitely all over that. Because that's kind of what it looks like to me. What's that? No worries, Adam. But it's a weird old complexion, isn't it? I mean, I'm not even going to touch the subject of your son and what went on, to be honest, because I don't think that actually needs to be brought up by anyone, to be honest.
He's not actually my son.
No,
yeah, we're not going to discuss that situation.
Sorry, I keep thinking you're fucking Wendy.
He can defend himself, so it's not fair.
No, I keep thinking you're Wendy. It's all right. No worries, Chloe. But so obviously we've gone through the storage mate. So obviously now the dog cremation. Have you managed to do that?
So we've raised just over half of the money, and Friday we made the half of the payment, obviously because that's what we had. So we raised £211. Sorry, we paid that on Friday, and obviously now we're raising. Bearing in mind we are contributing it to it ourselves. If you look at the actual GoFundMe, you'll see vintage payments on there where we've obviously been selling what we can to raise some money towards it. But obviously we're doing all we can.
Right. So have you got an active GoFundMe?
Yes.
So you currently have so you have another active GoFundMe?
No, we have the GoFundMe for the dog, which is what we're saying is active.
Right, okay, yeah. Makes sense. And
if you have a look, it's got the invoice on there.
Right, 1 second. Get that out of the way. Right, so obviously you sent me your start of proceedings thing, which was assessing. Just like the start of a thing. So, right, so obviously we know all the things that are supposedly that you've done so far, because it's just like taxis, monies for Christmas, toys, food, shopping, cremation, rent, gas, utilities and all that. Right, so when it comes to your own admittances, so obviously there are videos about that where you kind of admit gamming and that Jarreth didn't really kind of DV you. That's the best way I can put it, sorry. Without getting a banana.
You can see in that video. I'll admit, he's been a bastard to me at times. An absolute bastard.
Yeah.
If his sister was in here, he's got ADHD and he's got a temper.
And Jarreth,
you can see that if you've seen the video. If you've seen the video of the Christmas tree, you'd know.
Yeah, I have seen that video, man. I have seen that video. I did show it the other day.
And that's the reason why you got arrested.
Right, so Jarreth. So obviously you two had a little bit of a blip and split up at some point this year, correct?
Well, so I was arrested, so my condition was me and Wendy couldn't be together.
Right, is this when you sent this massive 8-minute voice note?
I sent many, so probably.
Yeah. I was going to say, because in that voice note I'll give you a pretty much briefing rather than us listening to it all. But in that voice note, you basically call out all Wendy's lies and the scams. In that voice.
Oh, what's that noise? Sorry, go on. There was some feedback there. Sorry.
So yeah, that was the so obviously in the long voice note, 8 minutes, pretty much you just blasting all Wendy's like.
Oh yeah, I was absolutely pissed at her. Bearing in mind, during that week, all of her mods/friends were coming into my live, and basically just pissed me off. So yes, I lost my temper, and yes, I said things. Some things were true, some things were not. As far as I was aware, our relationship was over. And she was doing everything she could to get at me. Bearing in mind, during this whole week off, we weren't allowed to have any contact whatsoever.
So what sort of things in that voice note were true? And what wasn't?
Well, the fact that I said, obviously, me and Wendy weren't together, And to be fair, I can't even remember a lot of it because it's been that long.
I mean, I can probably send it to you, to be fair.
I mean, bearing in mind you are talking 10 months ago, so it's been a very long time.
I mean, so these are just some of the claims.
He's on about the voice note of you telling everyone that I was scamming.
Yeah, so I'll tell you the contents of this voice note. Is basically you've claimed that she's lied about gas and electric because she's done quarterly and scammed money for that. You've also admitted that she didn't need a fridge or a freezer, as apparently she already had one, and that she lied about rent money. Those were the claims, some of the claims you made in that voice note.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, I was pissed off at her. So I said things that weren't true to piss her off and to get at her. Bearing in mind, she was sending all of her so-called friends in my life to basically ruin my life. And I knew that I could say things that would piss her off.
So when you say to ruin your life, what did you think Wendy wanted to do to ruin your life?
Well, bearing in mind, she just had me arrested. I couldn't speak to her.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed any contact with the kids.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned, she fucked my life up. I mean, you can imagine I give that girl everything up until that time where I was arrested, and I literally was on the edge of losing everything.
I mean, you two are definitely. I mean, you obviously get. I should imagine you two have to block a lot of people, right? Because you are pretty much all over a hell of a lot of pages. But would you say this is like healthy?
To be fair, I've gone past all this now. You know, at the beginning, this was really bad for me. You know, Wendy struggled really bad at the beginning. I got over this stuff very quickly. You know, I've seen all the messages from. I've had trolls trolling me for the past year. It goes over my head. Anything that anyone says doesn't really affect me anymore. I'm too strong to let it get to me now. So I know that there's pages of, and there's videos of me going around, and there's this, that, and the other. Personally, I couldn't give two fucks. I'll be brutally honest. I couldn't give two fucks. I'm too strong of a person to let this get to me now.
So out of obviously all the claims and accusations that have been made, obviously some you have obviously admitted by your own admittances. We've heard the voice notes and God knows what. Is there anything else that you actually admit to doing, like along these lines, or that you might have done before, or shit that's going to pop up? And what about, there you go, what about the threats that you made? There you go, like threatening to cut people up and threatening.
Well, I mean, I've openly told individuals in particular that have said things about me. Absolutely. That you know, I'm not gonna disclose exactly what I've said, but absolutely, if you're big enough to give it, you've got to be big enough to take it. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't be telling them you're going to cut them up, though.
Well, I can't say I remember that one.
And you did say it to women, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I'll say it to anyone. If you're big enough to give me shit, expect to get it back, whether you're a man or a woman. If you're big enough to give it, you are big enough to take it. That's the philosophy that I've always lived by. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you're big enough to give me a bollocking and threaten me, expect it back.
I know, but is there not? I totally get your stance and what you're saying, but is there not a limit and a line that there should be?
No, absolutely not. If you're big enough to give it, expect it. I said the same to Dean. I told Dean to his face, and he's denied it. But it was only me, him, and that police officer stood on that landing that day. And I told him if he carried on, I would do something. And he's very lucky I didn't. And I'll tell him again. I can't stand that bloke. What he's put us through is unbelievable.
Right, okay. I mean, probably not the best thing to be chucking at women straight away, do you know? I mean, there's got to be a bit of a line, right?
No, there's no one for me. No, I speak how it is. If you're big enough to give me the shit, expect it back. You can't go around life going, I'm a woman, you can't say these things. Because absolutely, if you're going to give it, you're going to get it.
But do you not think they've got a right to be like this, considering like you supposedly own thousands, or you've owed these people money, and there's been like it's very deep rooted, no? Like, because I'm not being funny. Like, if I had a nightmare tenant, let's say, because that's what I would class as a nightmare tenant. If I had a nightmare tenant, I'd be losing my absolute shit. I mean, I'd never put myself in that situation because I couldn't be dealing with the stress. But, like, I mean, if someone owed me all that money, I don't think I'd be best impressed.
Who are you referring to, sorry?
Your landlords and all that, and all the threats you can't...
But the landlord, he gets what's coming to him. He fucked us over big time. So like I said to him, and I'll say it again, you get what's coming to you. You fuck us over, you deal with the consequences. He fucked us over, he's got to deal with the consequences of that.
The landlord put a roof over your head, correct?
Yeah, and the roof wasn't... And like I said before, we have asked for repairs and things to be done in that flat, and he has refused. He has to take responsibility for that. I'm not paying for a flat that is not safe and for him to do the work that he's supposed to and legally supposed to do.
And I get it, but you know, sometimes it takes landlords a while and sometimes a little bit of a process to get things sorted. It's not all just done within a day. Sometimes it can take a couple of weeks and God knows what.
Yeah, but when you ask him to fit a fire alarm and it takes him 8 months to do it, that's not acceptable.
Well,
not until we rung the fire brigade and they forced him to do it that he actually did it.
So why didn't you phone up the fire brigade straight away?
We phoned them up and said, the landlord is refusing to do it, what can we do? Well, you have to keep messaging him and asking him to do it. So we did, and in the end we said, look, we're sick and tired of this. We've got 2 children in this house. There's no fire alarms. There's no carbon monoxide detectors in this flat. They said to us, right, we will contact him and give him a time frame of when he needs to do it. If he doesn't do it, get back hold of us. We will then do it and we will bill him for it.
So why did you
following day he sent somebody out.
Why did you not put any up yourself in that time?
That's not our responsibility. He has a legal obligation as a landlord to do it.
Listen, it's for your own protection. I get he's got a responsibility. Yes, he has a duty of care. I totally understand. But why would you wait 8 months knowing anything could have happened to you in that 8 months? Why did you not just like maybe phone the fire brigade themselves? They'd have pushed it on straight away, or even just quickly fitted one, like maybe yourself.
It's just something I didn't do.
Yeah, see, I mean, so obviously you're in a new place now, right? You're in an actual place, yeah? You've got like a proper home and everything. You're not in a halfway house or nothing.
No, we're in our own home.
So you have got your own gaff and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you're keeping up with the rent on this one. Is this one private or council?
The council.
Oh, thank fuck for that. I bet they're well chuffed. I bet they're well chuffed.
I'll tell you what, it's a lovely house, and to be fair, the council are pretty good.
Oh, so you actually enjoy the house now? Is that the one you did the video where he's whinging about the painting?
No, I'll tell you what that was. That was a response to people saying that there's carpets and whatnot in the flat, in the house. I said, no, there fucking ain't, and I'll prove it to you. So I did the video, but obviously if people don't understand both sides of the story, they've only seen my video. But that was in direct response to people saying there was stuff in the flat and in the house, and I said, no, there isn't. So I said, no, you don't get fucking carpets. No, there's nothing in the cupboards because there never is. It's council. Bearing in mind, I've lived in council most of my life, so I know how the council work. So that was in a direct response to people saying that you would have carpets on the floor, you would have other things, and I said, no, you fucking don't. So that was what that video was meant for. That video was in return to some people commenting saying there was nothing in, there was things in the flat.
See, this is the thing, right? Like, so we know, obviously, with councils, you don't get carpets. You'll be lucky if you get a ton of white paint nowadays. I mean, they used to give you a couple of tins of paint. You'll be barely lucky to even get 1 tin of white paint nowadays. If not, they'll dish you out vouchers so you can go and get some. And it's not a very great amount, but it's enough to do what needs to be done. But I think it's pretty standard. It doesn't come with all the furnishings unless you're going for.
No, I mean, to be fair, you haven't had carpets in council houses for years. They take them out for reasons of infestations and things like that. So I moved into my first council house with my mum in 2000. And we've been there for 23 years, and we had fuck all. no white paint on the walls, nothing. It was literally bare bones. And that's what I'm saying. When I was talking to people saying, you don't get carpets, you don't get this, and they're saying, yes, you do, the council can't leave you without carpets. I made that video to prove that there was fuck all in the house.
Well, unfortunately, council do leave you without carpets because your home is your palace. It's for you to build at the end of the day.
Which obviously we're doing, you know, it's coming along very well.
So obviously I take it you're not working at the moment or anything like that?
No.
No, so what, have you not worked for years or?
No, so I was working up until basically all this kicked off and my mental health took a dip to the point where I was almost not here. So I had to take some time off. My employer wouldn't wait for me because they said that I couldn't fulfill my contracted hours, so let me go.
So basically, it ends up.
Bear in mind, I wasn't in a stable place. I'd obviously been arrested because of my mental health. So obviously, I had to make sure that my mental health was safe before employers.
So we're both on universal credit with limited capability.
Right. So right. Okay. So you both getting your bennies at the moment, so to speak. And
obviously, with limited capability, if you're a couple, only one person gets the extra element.
And if you must know, the reason that I couldn't work was because I used to work on dealing with trucks. Now, when someone's got a severe mental health issue, which I did, being around 42-ton trucks is not a safe environment.
Oh no, neither's driving.
That was the reason why I was told you need to stay off work until your mental health is better, i.e. medication, counselling, therapy, that kind of thing. Because when you're dealing with 42-ton trucks, it's not safe with a mental health issue to be stood in front or behind a truck.
So what about like finding something that's a bit more suitable or something?
Sorry?
What about finding a job that's more suitable to your mental health?
Yeah, I will, absolutely. I mean, I've already spoke to Wendy about that. In time, when I know my medication and my therapy is
working. We're not getting 2007, actually.
I will move into.
No, we're fucking near it.
So, I take it you both got all your white goods and stuff like that? From the white goods scheme?
So, obviously, we were able to get certain white goods because of the child's medical condition. Others we weren't, but we were able to get things like a washing machine due to the child's medical condition.
Yeah.
And that was literally, we had to wait until... For that to be processed, we had to wait till 2 weeks after we moved in. So obviously we were panicking. We didn't have this certain
Yes,
items.
we do have a dishwasher because we got it free on Facebook.
We had to wait for them to obviously receive the medical files to approve, obviously, the goods and whatnot.
So how long ago was your payout now? What, that would have been a couple of months ago, was it? Your back pay? The video I watched?
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of months ago, let's say. Obviously, we know it's not a fucking massive amount, but I take it you needed to get everything.
It was only just over £1,000.
But you needed to get like some.
So we got the yeah, we didn't waste it. We got stuff with it.
So you got stuff that was needed.
So what if I bought a barbecue? So what?
Obviously, the kids have beds. We have a bed. There's carpets on the floor. There's obviously sofa. There's obviously a washing machine, tumble dryer, cooker, all the things that you would expect to have.
Yeah.
All the basics we have.
It was shit if it's not essential. I bought it.
Right, so it's Becky. I take it Becky's this one you owe money to, isn't it?
Yeah. So Becky's the person that we owe the money to. Obviously, while there's an investigation ongoing.
Hey, you can't say nothing. You lied to Christina and Ruthie. You absolutely lied, and they proved it.
Who was that? Who lied to Ruthie?
Hey, in the chat, she lied to Christina and that.
Why? What do you mean? Tell me more.
I can't remember exactly what was said because I stopped watching their lives. But apparently, there was a conversation the other day or something regarding Tay, and Christina was saying that she lied a lot regarding. No, I won't keep Ruthie out my gob. Absolutely not. She's a scumbag.
I mean, I have said to her...
She's scammed also. She can't say shit.
I have said the same with everyone, same with you guys, same with everyone that's been mentioned or involved tonight. The invite has always been there for all of them to get in the box. I just told her social corner.
No, I'm not affected. I'm just fed up with the shit and it needs to fucking stop. That's why I got in contact with Billy.
I mean...
And I'm thankful that he'll take 2 sides to every story.
I mean, I can't speak on behalf of everyone and say they're going to stop. I think once you've always got a troll, you're always going to have that troll sort of thing. So I think that's just going to become a natural thing. Unless people see differences and ways, and I'm not saying, this ain't me saying you're totally innocent. And as I said at the beginning, it would seem like I was probably going to bash Christina at the beginning. It's not the case. But the facts are the facts. The thing is, I'm not saying you've been absolutely innocent, but neither has anyone else in this situation or in this case. I mean, I can see the comments there saying we'll stop begging and all this, and it will stop. I mean, chances are it probably will never stop, even if you stop begging, or God knows what you're fucking doing next. Do we get a hint on the next thing that's coming? I mean, because you stated what you've not got much left to go for the dog, have you?
No, so we've raised 260 £260. There's 162 £, I think, left to raise. 162, I think it is. Obviously, we are contributing towards that. We've already contributed, I think, £100 towards that ourselves, obviously by selling the stuff that we have. Yeah, and that's the reason that was put out was purely because we couldn't afford it.
Budget loan? You get a budget loan or advance?
Dog home. What people fail to remember is that those 2 kids have grown up with that dog. The little one in particular, all his life. Now, if you want to go upstairs and tell that 17-year-old that he cannot have Fizz home, it will break him, and we're not going to do that.
Well, it's not a case of telling them they can't have it at home. I think people are just like more saying, rather than running to TikTok, probably exploring all options that are available. Like, so maybe whether it be payment plans or whether
we've had a discussion with the vet. We've had many discussions with the vets. We've also tried other authorities to see if we can get help towards the vet bill, and there's no one that will help us.
What? No budgeting loan?
Nope, we can't get anything like that.
Why?
Because we owe too much already.
So basically you've already had your loan for 2 years?
Yes, we've already had what we needed, and obviously we can't exhaust it anymore.
I mean,
bury her in the garden, that wasn't an option, and I'm sure you've probably seen the videos that were posted. Burying her in the garden was not an option. Our garden's just been dug up and redone. That was not an option. Even the council worker said the same thing. If you had put the dog in there, we wouldn't have been doing this, because they're not going to dig her up. And to start with, don't know if you've actually done your research, but it's actually illegal to bury an animal in a council garden.
I mean, if the garden's done now, you could essentially do it now. However,
because we've already made the payment for it to be cremated. It's already been done.
But who really gives a shit about the council? Let's be honest. I mean, I've chucked many a dead hamsters, cats, and dogs in the back garden in the council.
My mum's got 4 cats in our garden, so we've never really made an issue.
I don't think that's so much of an issue. I mean, like, is your garden done now?
Are you actually serious? Have you just said eat it then? Are you fucking serious? You are fucking disgusting.
Who said that?
Tay.
What's she saying?
Fucking vile.
Oh, right, that account, right, I see it.
I talk shit. The evidence is on our pages. Go and have a look. The council, we actually took a video when the council were in digging up the garden. So you can't sit there and say I'm talking shit. We posted the evidence to prove that we couldn't bury her in the garden.
Sorry, the comments really throwing me off. I'm trying to get my head back into frame.
Right, 2 seconds, I've got a phone call coming through. Give me a second.
No, sorry, that really threw me off. Don't do gardens. We'll have all the gardens, babes.
Sorry, I'm back. I had a phone call.
No worries, no worries. Right, so obviously your garden's done now, right?
Yes.
Right, so you could potentially bury.
No, because she's already been sent off to be cremated.
Oh, right. So she's already ashes.
So obviously, that's what we've paid the first payment of £211, and that was to send her off to be cremated.
Right, so she is already ashes. They're waiting for payment.
Yeah. So now they're waiting for the second payment so that they can obviously release Fizz to us.
So the second payment was right. So obviously, because this is a lot of money, you know, to have an animal created. So I've had to look into this sort of stuff, and you know, like you could go for like the cheapest option anywhere for around about 200 to 230, maybe 250.
And what's that for?
Like to have like the dog. How big was the dog? Was it a big dog?
Border collie.
What, kilo heavy or?
I don't know how big she was, to be fair.
Because I mean, I would have said around about 250 was more a realistic point to make.
Yeah, that's for the cremation. 250 is for the cremation, but we have to pay for the euthanasia as well. If you look at the list, the bill, it says
right.
270 for the euthanasia, and then it's 250 for the cremation.
So you still owe money prior to when the dog was alive, yeah? From like having to put it to sleep and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
we had to pay for them to put her to sleep. That doesn't come free. So obviously we've had to pay for obviously the bill is for the cremation and for the euthanasia.
So the euthanasia, you should have got that really cheap considering you would have been on benefits, like, because all vets would have accommodated to some way or have a little bit of a discount.
No, because it's private, they don't work that way.
See now, I don't know because I can speak different on this. So when I had my cat put down as a private dentist, and absolutely I paid half the price it should have because I wasn't working, I was on benefits at the time. So I actually paid half the price.
I mean, this is the reason why we had a discussion with them, because we couldn't afford it. And they actually waived the consultation fee for us because they knew we couldn't afford it. But the manager of the vets turned around and said she would not waiver or reduce the cost for the euthanasia and the cremation. Because technically it would have been almost £500 had we had to pay for the consultation. But because they waived the consultation fee, that was a saving of £65 alone.
And you never had a pet plan or anything like that?
No. Bearing in mind, I've only been with Wendy for 2 years. And the dog is almost 15.
So
the dog was almost 15 years old.
It's only been a couple of years.
So obviously, I've only known Fizz for 2 years.
Right. Okay. So it's predominantly Wendy's dog, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And obviously, we keep getting this PDSA thing. PDSA is not open at 10:30 in the evening. When we rung the out of hours, there was no PDSAs to us open that could deal with the issue. And that's the reason why they said we are putting you on basically we're booking you in with a local vet for 9:15 the following morning. And I know the closest PDSA to me is Plymouth. I've been there a few times. I know exactly where they are and who they are.
Well,
now,
they didn't get seen till 9:30 a.m. no?
Sorry?
The dog didn't get seen till 9:30 a.m. no?
Yeah, so we rung them. So we rung an emergency out of hours vet at 10:30 the night before. Because obviously she had the...
So the question is, this is where people are getting confused in the comments. So the question is saying, okay, you called them the night before, but the next morning, why didn't you just take them to the PDSA?
Because we were told she wouldn't survive the travel. They booked us in with a local vet for 9:15, which is the earliest appointment they could book. And we took straight to that vet.
In the car from the vet you were at.
Sorry?
It's only 15, 22 minutes in the car from the vet you were at.
No, from where we are to where Plymouth is, it's a 45-minute car journey.
But I'm saying from the vets that you were at, or the vets that you went to, from there on was an extra 22 minutes drive to the PDSA.
No. The PDSA, that the vets that we were at is a mile from where we live.
But that vets is registered quite a way.
Yeah, their address might be somewhere up the line in Birmingham,
I
but
can tell you their address
it's
is
multiple
registered in
different.
some flat.
Sorry?
I can tell you, I've already searched their address. It's like it's registered in some flat housing estate.
So it's in Birmingham. Their actual company registered address is in Birmingham. The actual vets is 1.1 miles from where we are.
And then either way, it was still right. So the vets that you went to is 1 mile from where you are. So either way, PDSA would have only been another half an hour.
But when you're told that your dog may not survive that journey, you are not going to risk that animal on that journey.
Right. See, now I have a different stance on this because I think I'd rather, me personally, in my head, I think I'd rather me drive to a vet's further away, knowing my cat would probably croak it on the way, so I didn't have to pay that massive charge, or take it to that vet knowing either way it's going to have the outcome that it probably needs.
So what you've just said is you would rather us take the dog 45 minutes away, bearing in mind there was also a child in the car that would witness the dog die on the journey. Is that what
I'm not saying that's what you should have done. I'm just saying.
No, absolutely not. You think I'm going to put an 8-year-old through that trauma? You must be kidding me if you think I'm putting an 8-year-old through that trauma.
No, it's just in my opinion, that's what I would have done. I can't try not to be too loose. I know you've had a vodka.
Jokes.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Listen, where's he gone?
He's dropped. I don't know where he's gone.
Listen, if you loved your dog as much as you say you do, that you wouldn't want to put your kids through that trauma, you'd be paying fucking vet insurance, you big fat cunt. Let me tell you that. I pay over £100 a month for my dog. Yeah? I've had to put my kid through that of watching 2 staffies to be put to sleep. I'm not doing it again. So I pay over £100 a month for my staffy, my Frenchie, to be protected. You are full of shit. You get benefits. You can get that shit for free.
Yeah, and listen, even if you're not getting it for free, you are getting it at a big discount. And that is the truth.
I paid £500 for my boy to be neutered, and he weighs about, 15 kilogram? Not even that. He's a tiny boy. Most people have seen my dog. He's a little Frenchie.
Yeah.
I pay over £100 a month in vet, not even fucking vet bills, but insurance. And most of the time I don't take him. He's got allergies, but that's treated for a raw diet. This man is chatting the most. Let me tell you.
I mean, this is why I kept asking questions in it, because it will get the answer. The thing is,
listen, I love my boy more than anything. My boy is in the same league as my kids. My dog is my world.
I was going to say, like, the little photos of him, little videos.
And I would drive anywhere on the planet to save my boy. So you're telling me you won't drive an extra 20 minutes? You are a lying fat cunt. You and your missus are fucking pure begs. You are beggy bastards. Let me tell you that.
It's one of 2 ways, isn't it? And like I said, I personally would rather take the risk and drive further, knowing my beloved pet could croak it on the way.
Listen, if I couldn't afford the vet bills, and do you know what? The thing is, I'm not boasting. I'm lucky because I can afford the vet bills. But that's my, I'm not mocking anyone on benefits or whatever.
No, you do the sensible thing for your pet.
But my boy is in league with my kids. He's my boy. Do you know what I mean? I would drive to fucking Scotland. I'd drive to the end of the world for my boy. If you're not prepared to drive an extra 20 minutes for your dog, then you are full of shit.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And we've all seen the Google Maps. Yeah? You are not prepared to drive an extra 20 minutes for your dog. You are full of shit. Full of shit.
That's...
Listen, my dog, my boy, my kid's grown up now, and my dog he's my baby. Do you know what I mean? As we know, Bill, my dog is my boy. He's my baby. He's the only baby I've got left, apart from my granddaughter. But you know, listen.
I mean, 420 is so extortionate. I could still get that so much cheaper.
Listen, you know, well, you know, we can all raise that quite simply. You know, sell a few pics of your missus. Yeah. It's easily done. There's a few weirdos out there. I mean, I'll sell mine for hundreds, but you know. Do you know what I mean? But you know, that's another story. You've been there, Bill. You see me done it.
I have.
Exactly. You know what I mean? There's room for everybody. But, you know, even us old birds. But you know, 150 quid for a nip here and a nip there, 150 quid for a nip. But you know, if you love your dog so much, you will do anything to raise that money and a few minutes on OF.
I agree.
All that. Well, do you know harm, darling? You don't have to love your dog as much as you say you do. Because
there are many pages of them. There are many pages of them. There really are.
I mean, if Luna Tuna can get a gang bang,
then anyone can. Because the pound why they're still wanting the full amount. Well, because like they said, they played off and they got to pay for the euthanasia. Like I say, the story doesn't add up and it doesn't make sense. And my conclusion is made, and I'll do a video on that tomorrow. But there's just too many inconsistencies. Honestly, there's more holes in this.
Full of shit. You've got a BMI of a rhino, the pair of them. There's no excuse. Listen, I work 2 fucking jobs. I've got an autistic kid that needs full-time attention. There's no excuse.
I'm not going to sit here and say they've totally lied across the board. They haven't lied about everything, but they have lied about a lot. Like, there's a lot of things they have come forward with some facts and proof regarding other people's trying to expose them.
I want to hear that bollocks.
But,
all right.
I mean, as it stands, I mean, you've done your fair share role, isn't it?
Listen, if you are struggling, you will do anything if you are struggling.
Right.
I'm not struggling, that's the thing, I'm not struggling, and the thing is, I like luxury, so I will do things for my luxuries.
Yes, to enjoy your luxuries.
Exactly. So, on a basic lifestyle, you will do, if you are struggling on your basic lifestyle, you'll do what you need to do.
Of course you fucking will, yeah.
I work 2 jobs, I've got 2 kids, one's Asperger's and ADHD, requires full-time attention.
And it's fucking full-time attention and all. I know, because I'm like that. I'm 24/7.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, when it comes to the thing is, kids are kids. You know what I mean? But dogs it's a different love for a dog because they can't protect themselves. They can't.
They can't speak. They can't talk. They can't tell you what's wrong.
Exactly. My boy, I would do anything. I mean, I'd do anything with my kids, and it's the same with my boy. Like, listen. You see, if Andy comes strolling across the park and wants to try thump up me and thump up my dog, bitch, you're collecting your teeth.
Fell off the fucking field.
Yeah. Anyway, I've challenged Angie to a boxing match and I've tagged Tyrone.
Tell me about this. What, in her live?
Yeah. Let's see if Angie wants to match me because I'm only a year younger than Angie.
She's gonna look like that, you know.
Me to a boxing match because bitch, I'm thumping them wine teeth out your mouth.
Just to let you guys know, if you did miss the part 1 the other day on Wendy and Jarf, that is up on our YouTube. I only uploaded it not long ago and went and got my link. And tonight's one will be up tomorrow. And I'll chuck the final conclusion at the end.
Yeah, anyway, I've seen these pair begging for weeks and weeks and weeks.
It's just gone on years. It goes back years. That's how it goes back, probably about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, there's thank you to whoever's gifted me. I can't say because I'm pissed.
I was just gonna say she can't even see. She's like that.
not that I can see on a normal day anyway. Not this time because I took my contacts out. But you know,
I might expect to see you on at 5 o'clock in the morning, shaking it.
No, I'm in bed. I'm gonna go. I was just listening and I was just thinking, is this dickhead for real? Stop making excuses, man. You fucking pussy hole. I'll probably get banned in a minute. So if I disappear, you know where I've gone, any.
Yeah, I know what it is.
If this pussy hole can't, yeah, don't listen. If you can't afford a pet, don't have one. It's as simple as that.
Exactly
Simple.
right.
Listen, I've got a French bulldog, and it costs me over £100 a month in pet insurance. If you can't afford that shit, then don't have a fucking dog. It's as simple as that. Listen, before like lockdown and all that shit, I never got it. But you know, my boy is my boy, and he is, you know, I'll get it. This bitch ain't paying for none of that. She's paying for the dog to be put to sleep. That's it. She ain't paying for fucking cremations and yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like we say, you could easily have a burial. Like that's just as good, and you know, you've still got the pet there forever. Well, unless you plan on moving very quickly or not paying the rent.
The thing is, Bill, I've been there when I've had no money and I've had dogs put to sleep, and I've had to leave the dog to be put to sleep and just get on with life.
Yeah,
get on with it. Why are you begging people off TikTok? If you're so desperate, you are two people, there's nothing wrong with you. Go and get a fucking job, you slobby cunts.
or cash in hand.
Well,
did I tell him I took my cat to the dentist? Did I? Did I tell him I took my cat to the dentist? Fuck off, did I? Fuck off.
Listen, there's no excuse. OF. There's all sorts of shit. Listen, people will buy pictures of your feet. Go and sell that shit. If you are so bothered about your dog, go and earn it the proper way. Stop begging off TikTok, you absolute fucking begs. Please don't gift me because I don't. Gift it to Bill, please.
Did you need to take your dog to the dentist?
No, to be honest, vet bills are expensive. Do you know what I mean? Vet bills are expensive. As you know, vet bills are expensive. Even with insurance, they're expensive. But if you love your dog so much, get some vet insurance. But don't sit begging on TikTok expecting other people to pay. There's two of you. There's one of me. I work 2 fucking jobs. There's 2 of you. No excuse.
Well, I just don't think there's an excuse anyway.
Anyway, while I'm at it, before I go, I just want to say, Diana, you have the BMI of a rhinoceros, you big cunt. Angie, I fucking challenge you to a boxing match. Tyrone, everyone screen record. Please, everyone, get a screen recording right now. I'll give it 5 seconds. Everyone screen record. Are you ready? Because it takes 3, 2, 1. I challenge Ginger Pubes, Angie, the pisshead, to a boxing match. Tyrone, everyone tag Tyrone. I challenge this bitch to a boxing match. I'm going to box her wine-stained tooth out of her mouth. And then I'm going to look after Sheila, who deserves a decent daughter. I will be her adopted daughter. I will look after Sheila. All hail Sheila. I'm going to box off Angela's face in a boxing ring. She might be 6 inches taller than me, but I'll tell you now,
I'm Sheila going to Turkey next year.
I'm telling you now, I will bust Angela's claw all over the place. Angela is 1 year older than me. Go look at my pictures and go and look at Angela's pictures. Let's see who looks better, yeah? I mean, to be fair, I do have Botox, but you know.
Yeah, but you know.
And my teeth are all mine. I don't drink red wine, but yeah, Angela, you dirty pisshead, pissy tramp, fucking twat. I'll challenge you to a boxing match. Tyrone, get on it. Get me in that ring.
You can say what you want to block me today because I gifted Mandy a rose.
Yeah, she was screwing about.
Don't gift me!
Mandy Clark. How's your daughter, Mandy?
Rain's got Billy. Rain's got my sister. Stop fucking gifting me. So you only have 7p, you cunt.
Sorry, Bill. Keep me out of the box. I shouldn't have got in because I'm drunk. But anyway, Angela, before we go, Angela, I'll challenge you to a boxing match. I'll rip your blood clot across fucking. I'm telling you, I'll box her up. I don't care. I'll box her up. I'll knock them wine-stained fucking tough out of her mouth. I'm telling you, I'd rather fight her than Lucy Rose.
Well, I mean, you got more chance.
Not saying some, Lucy Rose. I mean, I'd rather fight Bri, to be fair, but Angela, bring it on. Kick me out, darling.
Be good, sweet cheeks.
Bye, darling. Love you.
Bye, darling. Love you.